Hi, my name is Carson. I'm a radio personality and an amateur chef. I'm not formally trained, but I've been cooking for about 14 years for my friends, for my family, for fellow foodies, and occasionally doing cooking demos with actual real chefs. So I picked up a lot of good things. The reason why I do it is because I want to demystify things that maybe you might be afraid to try, and also bring couples together over a great meal. Today we are making curry pumpkin soup. All right, so with pumpkin soup, you can go out and buy a pumpkin, you can seed it, you can peel it, you can boil it or roast it to get the pumpkin meat. It's obviously a very seasonal product, and since you don't see any Halloween decorations in my house, I'm just gonna go with a canned pumpkin, all right? So this is just your basic canned pumpkin. Please do not buy pumpkin pie filling or you're gonna get a really funky tasting soup, and you're not gonna like it. So what I've got here, guys, is about 2 nice cloves of finely chopped garlic. I've got 1 very nice sized chopped up jalapeno pepper. I've got 1 large carrot, peeled and chopped. I've got 2 good sized stalks of celery that I have chopped up. I have got 1 teaspoon of turmeric, and doesn't turmeric sound tasty? Turmeric. 1½ teaspoons of salt. Use sea salt or kosher salt. Do not use iodized salt. That is for your driveway when it's icy. I have 2 teaspoons of curry. I love the smell of curry. Wonderful stuff. And for the finish, a little bit of parsley, and also we're going to add a dollop of sour cream. Also, we're going to add about 3 cups of chicken broth as we're cooking it. What we're going to do right now is I've got some extra virgin olive oil in a saute pan. I have finely chopped about 2 to 3 cloves of garlic. So I'm going to go ahead and throw those in there, guys. Get that garlic softened up a little bit. I've also finely chopped a jalapeno pepper. So I'm going to go ahead and add that. I'm going to get those going, and then I'm going to put them in the food processor and puree them. I've got 1 carrot. I'm going to drop that in my food processor right now. I've got 2 stalks of celery. I'm going to drop these in the food processor right now. And I'm going to tear them up. Then I'm going to add my carrots and celery. The carrots obviously will add kind of a sweet flavor. And the celery will add a celery flavor. Because celery just tastes like celery. I'm going to add about 2 cups of chicken broth right now. I'm going to let this boil for around 10 minutes until it gets soft, and I'm going to puree it. In this pot we have chicken broth, we have jalapeno, and we have garlic, and also carrots and celery. I've had it cooking for about 10 minutes, so it is softened up. I'm going to go ahead and add my turmeric. I'm going to add my sea salt. I'm going to add my curry. I'm going to add a pinch of cayenne. Then I'm going to put it in my food processor and puree it very nicely. Now obviously, since it's been cooking about 10 minutes, some of the chicken broth is cooked off of it. So I'm going to add a little more chicken broth, depending on the consistency that I want for the soup. Let me stir this up. Oh, you're going to smell this in just a second. Oh, this smells nice. All right, let's puree. Okay, I pureed that for about 30 seconds. Here we go. There's my puree of jalapeno and carrots and celery and seasonings. All right, so I've got my pureed mixture of jalapeno and celery and garlic and carrots and chicken broth. One thing that I didn't put in here was 1 medium onion with the saute mixture. I've got some people in my life who don't like an onion. I actually prefer it with an onion. So if you want, add an onion to the mixture as you're sauteing it and then put it in the food processor. All right, so I've got my mixture here of all my sauteed vegetables that I pureed very nicely, and I'm ready for the pumpkin. Now, this is about 1 3/4 pounds of pumpkin. It's a 29-ounce can. I'm going to add this slowly. I've got the heat on medium, and I'm going to whisk it in. I can already tell I'm probably going to have to add a little more chicken broth because it's really thick right now. So I'm just going to go ahead and add some more. Don't add too much. I don't want it to be really soupy. You want it to be fairly hearty. But obviously canned pumpkin is very thick. This is still fairly coarse. It's not hyper creamy. If you want to make it creamier, you could use a blender and puree it further before you present it. Now, this soup is going to cook for about a half an hour on your stove on a medium heat. I'm going to add a bay leaf. It's been on a really light, mild boil for about a half an hour. I mean, just a few bubbles. It's on a fairly low heat. You don't want to overcook this. You don't want to cause it to sear or stick to the bottom of the pan. But it should be about done, and we are ready to serve it. Now, here's how you're going to plate it. You'll just take a little bit of your curry pumpkin soup. I'd say just enough to cover the bottom of the bowl. You can put a little more in if you want. Like I said, this is a hearty soup, but if you're serving it in courses, you don't want to overdo it. What I'm going to take here is a dollop of sour cream. Now, it's optional, but when it comes to sour cream, for me, it's never optional. And this is kind of strange, but you're going to like it. This is parsley. I'm just going to take a little bit of this parsley and sprinkle it over the top. Now, this is not for garnishing purposes. I mean, it looks pretty and everything, but honestly, I can tell you, when you stir this into the soup, it adds a lot of flavor. It's an odd mixture. You're thinking parsley, jalapeno, but actually, it's really good. And as you can see, it looks really pretty.
To watch the other segments in this video series, or for how-to videos on almost any other topic, visit monkeyseed.com.